Okay, good morning. I said that already. The topic of today is deepening our work in the future of the extra lesson. And that's not me who know how it will go into the future, but I have some things to say maybe. You remember the first day we met, and I was speaking about what I saw was happening in society, let's say, with the children that are in our classes. And maybe not everybody knows that, although I think Mary Jo said so. I'm a class teacher. So I did remedial work for 8 years, and then I went back into class teaching. And I took 3 classes. I took 2 whole classes, and I took over a class, and now I'm going into 4th grade after the summer. So, and what I've seen, that's one of the things I see with the generations coming, and especially with the class I have now, is they are not really focusing on the blackboard, or when you stand, and when you say to them, look, and I'll show you something. And the moment I walk to the blackboard, their gaze is gone, their eyes are gone. So and I'm always amazed. And another thing is that they don't picture what you're saying. So your instruction, it's very difficult for them to make that in a picture and to understand what you are saying. And it's not me. You start doubting. That's what I'm doing wrong. But I ask my colleagues, and they have the same thing. So and the third one is that they the moment you give them, it was easier with my classes, with my earlier classes, but the moment you point where they should start with their writing, for instance, or in the beginning it was the drawing, you have to check, you show them where. You don't do it this way, you really have to turn and show where they start and that they write from this way and so forth, from the window to the door. You all point where you start and you check, so this way. Sometimes you even need to go around. Everybody's ready, everybody knows where it is. Yes, now we go start. And you go around, and there are 2, 3 on another spot. Or they have the notebook upside down. Such things. And then also, we don't have teachers for gymnastics and so forth. We do a lot of our work ourselves. That's Holland, because we have state salaries. So we have nothing else, but we have to do it ourselves. So I also give gymnastics lessons. And such simple things as having 4 benches in the room, in the hall, and have them walk around, how do you say that? A circuit? Not a circuit, yeah, circuit. On the benches, and I say, children, go and walk that way in a row, and that way, and that way, and that way. Just in small instruction, waving with your hand the route. You understand what I'm saying? Well, they are standing in a row here, and they run the first bench, and then get lost, don't know where to go. Such things. So that brought me to this idea that in this census that there is something missing, and I'm still looking what it is. That gave me the idea that there must be something with these new generations that are coming that is showing us here that there is this problem. And that gave me also this idea to look into these counter forces that are after 2000, in the 21st century. That gave me this idea to look in that direction. So, and I think when we're dealing with these counter forces, we need even more deeply go into the archetype of the will. Where the will is, which beings support us in the will, which beings support the small child in the first 3 years. I said it's the first 3 years. I almost say it's the first year. This morning at breakfast we had you and I had a small discussion about how do we do the exercises? Do we give commands? Do we correct when they do it? And you know, in the book, in Audrey's book, it says no comments. And of course that's true, because all the exercises that make them extra lesson exercises are self-correcting. There are a few that you really say, for instance, the threefold spiral and the right ankle triangle and so forth. You make sure that the children do the right thing, so not the inside-out spiraling of the legs, for instance. That you're sure that the right archetypal movement is imprinted. But lots of other exercises like the moving straight line and lemniscate and so forth, they work from the physical, and the physical laws imprint into their system. And you wait, and you don't interfere, and you let the astral body that is going in the opposite direction. There's reversed movement, which is pressing into their physical system, this overstretched situation that makes the astral body go into the movement system and into the nervous system. You give time that this can unwind. So you wait. But sometimes you can wait for ages and nothing happens. And I went with Audrey McAllen to Liane Collot-D'Herbois for having a tea. Yeah, I told that story already, didn't I? Well, and one of the questions Audrey had to Liane was, why don't children see the archetypes? That was in the 90s that happened. So she had that question already, because she noticed that and she heard from us as well, that for instance in such an exercise as the moving straight line and lemniscate, children did not come to the stage that they took up the right correction, the right movement. So that's where we need to be teachers. So, and I always remember Mary Ellen Wilby, to name her once more, and she had these funny things like, oh, something like that the child awoken in their consciousness that they were doing something wrong without saying that it was wrong. You understand? So just give small things to correct it. And for instance, with the right ankle triangle, with the 1 and the 8, sometimes I pull the chair a little bit back. You said that they're really touching the chair with their back, but when they're too close to the table, they don't come into the stretching. So I even overstretch it that they really have to reach, and then you can't go outside because more than that is impossible. So find ways how to correct without this one. Sew it, how would you call it? Do it, zipper.
Zip your lip.
Yeah, staple it. Glue, everything. Golden lock, put the and so forth. So that's the thing. But we have to. So that's how you. The extra lesson is a concept. It's not a book. It's a concept which you can work from. I have demonstrated that. You can even go into Christology with the extra lesson concept. Isn't it so? So anyway, that's a concept, an idea, which is from anthroposophy, I think, because that is it. It's actually anthroposophy. But anyway, it's a concept, and where was I? Yeah, that's the idea. But the real work, that's with the children. And therefore we are teachers. So the exercises have their description and they need to be done in a certain way. But how you get the children doing the exercises in the right way, that is the art. So that is the individual part between you and the children. And there we must find our ways, which is maybe different here than there. So if I think we need to bring the extra lesson, I think it's part of Waldorf education actually, because I think it's not just extra lesson, it's wider than that. I try to show you just with little elements how it's also, this archetypal idea is also in the curriculum. And I'm sorry to say so, but I think that a lot of the Waldorf education, and I think also the whole anthroposophical movement, went very much into the constitutional side, where the personal element is. Without reminding or reminding that you know something from the past. That Steiner at first, before the 20s, in 1920s, was giving the archetype. That time, and sometimes you hear, yeah, but that was the Theosophical time. When he came into the Anthroposophical Society, then the things changed. Of course, he was on his research too, but that was the basic thing, and then he continued. You see? So, and there you had these both things, which you already early. When was this World of the Sense, World of the Spirit? Cynthia, 21, wasn't it? Yeah, 21. So 9. Anyway.